Hi, welcome to Future Technos. Today, we're looking at something that has stirred up a lot of attention in the camera world, the brand new Fuji X-E5. And let me tell you right away, this little camera seems to check almost all the right boxes. It's small. It's compact. It's stylish. And it carries the latest technology that Fuji has to offer. At first glance, it feels almost perfect. But almost is the key word here. There's one thing that holds it back, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Before we get into the details, I want to make something clear. I don't have any connection with Fuji, and this is not my personal camera. I'm actually recording this first impression inside a camera store, the N4 camera store in my local shopping mall. They just opened recently, and if you happen to be around downtown Kuala Lumpur, you might want to drop by and check out the latest cameras, gear, and accessories. Just so you know, this is not a sponsored video. The kind folks here simply allowed me to spend some time with the X-E5, and I wanted to share my honest first impressions with you. This is not a full review. I've only had the chance to hold and test the camera briefly, but as a photographer, I couldn't resist sharing what I like and what I don't like about it. So let's start with the positives, because honestly, there's a lot to like here. The first thing that stands out the moment you pick up the X-E5 is its size. This camera is genuinely small. It's light, it's compact, and it almost feels like a mini version of the iconic Fuji X100 series. You probably know how much photographers love smaller cameras. They're easier to carry everywhere, and they encourage you to just go out and shoot. And that's exactly the kind of feeling this X-E5 gives me. It's a camera you want to throw in your bag without thinking twice. Now, size is one thing, but design is another. And the design of the X-E5 is absolutely beautiful. Fuji has always nailed that classic retro look, and this model continues the tradition. It has a flat-top rangefinder style that feels timeless, and on top of that, all the manual dials are right there, waiting for you to use. You get the dedicated shutter speed dial, the exposure compensation dial, and that tactile feel that Fuji fans rave about. It's not just about looks. These dials inspire you to shoot, to engage with the camera, and to enjoy the process of photography. Especially if you get the silver version, this camera is a head-turner. It's stylish in a way that modern digital cameras often aren't. Another thing that makes me smile is the screen. Fuji decided to go with a tilt screen rather than a fully articulating flip-out one. Now, I know, vloggers prefer the flip screen, and it's great for video work. But as someone who spends more time with stills and street photography, I prefer the simplicity of a tilt screen. It's quicker. It's more efficient. And when you're in the middle of a busy street trying to frame a shot discreetly, tilting the screen up or down is so much easier than flipping it sideways. It's a small detail, but it makes a big difference for photographers like me. One of the biggest selling points, though, is the built-in image stabilization. The X-E5 has 5-axis in-body stabilization, and once you've used a camera with stabilization, you know how important it is. It allows you to shoot at slower shutter speeds without worrying about shaky hands, and it helps a lot for video as well. This feature alone sets the X-E5 apart from some of its competitors, and for me, it's hard to imagine using a camera without it anymore. Then there's the viewfinder. Now, it's not the most advanced EVF out there. It doesn't have the highest resolution or the fastest refresh rate. But you know what? It's bright, it's clear, and it gets the job done. Having an electronic viewfinder at all makes composing shots much easier, especially in bright sunlight. For me, that's a win. What impressed me most, though, is that Fuji has packed flagship-level components into this small body. The X-E5 uses the same image sensor and processor as the higher-end X-T5 and X-T50. That means you're getting essentially the same image quality and autofocus performance as those flagship cameras, but in a smaller and more portable package. For a lot of people, that's a dream combination: compact size without sacrificing the guts that really matter. So far, it all sounds great, right? A small, stylish camera with the latest sensor, image stabilization, a tilt screen, and an electronic viewfinder. It's starting to sound like the perfect everyday camera, perfect for travel, perfect for street shooting, and even good for video. But of course, nothing is truly perfect, and the XE5 does have its shortcomings. The first drawback is handling. Yes, it's compact. Yes, it looks amazing. But the grip just doesn't feel secure. The front of the camera has some texture, but it feels plasticky, not rubberized, and after holding it for a while, I can already tell it's going to get uncomfortable. There's no real thumb rest at the back either, which makes the camera feel a little slippery. Now, if you've only been holding it for 10 minutes in a store, you might think it's fine. But after an hour or two of shooting, I suspect fatigue will set in. For me, handling is crucial, and I wish Fuji had put more thought into making this small body a bit more comfortable to hold. And then there's autofocus. This one is a little disappointing. Don't get me wrong, it's usable. It works fine for general photography. But I was expecting more. When I compared it side by side with my old Olympus EPL7, a camera that's over 10 years old, the autofocus on that Olympus actually felt quicker and more reliable. That's not what you want to see in a brand new camera in 2025. Especially when Fuji has been marketing their improved autofocus systems across the lineup. Another downside is the lack of weather sealing. At this price point, I think it's reasonable to expect some basic protection against dust and moisture. Other brands are offering it in cameras around the same price, so it feels like a missed opportunity here. Now, are these deal breakers? Probably not. You can live with less than perfect grip, you can live with autofocus that's decent but not the fastest, and you can live without weather sealing if you're careful. But still, these things hold the XE5 back from being that one perfect camera we're all looking for.